I want to say a generic word about our efforts. Because Hamas is embedded deeply in civilian areas, because it uses civilian human shields, democracies have a choice. They can say there is nothing we can do. We will absorb attacks, okay, against our cities. We could do that. Or we could level the cities. In World War II, when Western cities, specifically London and some British cities, were targeted this way by thousands of rockets, the response was to level cities. I admire Winston Churchill. I think he was one of the greatest leaders in modern history. I don't criticize him for anything. I think he did the right thing under those circumstances. But this is not our response to the firing of thousands of rockets on our cities. We do something different. We try to target those who target us with great precision. That is not as surgical an operation as it is. Even in a surgical room in a hospital, you don't have the ability to prevent collateral damage around the affected tissues. Even then you can't. And certainly in a military operation you cannot. But there is no army in the world that does more than the Israeli army, in the Israeli security services, in Israeli intelligence, to prevent collateral damage. To have Israel criticized for that is absurd. Not only is it absurd and unjust and untrue, it does enormous damage to democracies that are fighting this kind of evil. It says you cannot protect yourself, because in the course of doing that, instead of having the perpetrators who commit double war crimes, or hiding behind civilians and firing on civilians, not having them criticized, but having you criticize, is the height of hypocrisy and stupidity and irresponsibility. Because what that does is, in fact, encourage the terrorists. It gives succor, it gives support, it gives encouragement to the terrorists. And that is something that is bad for each one of us.